Examples here where we get into steps 1 and 2. On this next question, question 4, we have to combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. Basically, you want to simplify your equation until you get a two-step equation. Once you get a two-step equation, then you start using inverse operations. Like terms have the same variable, or like terms could both be constants. Here, the only constant I have is 7.3. And when I combine negative, again, make sure you're paying attention to the sign in front of it. That's a negative 2.76 and a negative 3.1. Same sign, add and keep the sign. So I know I'm going to have a negative 2.76 plus 3.1 is 5.86. So minus 5.86b equals negative 10.28. So we've done the combined like terms there. Now we're going to move on and do inverse of addition and subtraction. Here we have a positive 7.3 as my constant. This minus does not describe the 7.3. This minus describes the 5.86b. So what will cancel a positive 7.3? How do I get to 0 if I have positive 7.3? I subtract 7.3 from both sides. 7.3 minus 7.3 is 0. Bring down the next term with the sign in front of it. And then we have negative minus. So two negatives, add and keep. So negative 17.58. Now I have multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5.86. When I divide 1758, because I need to multiply by 100 so that my divisor does not have a decimal. So I'm going to multiply by 100 to make that 586. 586 times 3 is 1758. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I'm left with b equals 3. We should then go back and substitute just to check for accuracy. I'm going to move on for the sake of time here. Next, we've got this problem that has parentheses, and parentheses require that we start with the distributive property. So in this question, we are going to distribute the number that is right beside the parentheses. Negative 3 gets multiplied by everything. Negative 3 times positive 4 is negative 12. Again, this 5 is a negative 5n because it has a minus sign in front of it. So I don't know what sign to write down next until I've multiplied. My next multiplication would be negative 3 times negative 5n. And a negative times a negative is a positive, so I'm going to write down a plus. And 3 times 5 is 15n. Now that I've distributed, I have a two-step equation. Add 12 to both sides. 15n equals 120. Divide by 15 on both sides, and n equals 8. I could easily go back and substitute. 4 minus 5 times 8 is being multiplied by negative 3. I would do order of operations. 5 times 8 is 40. 4 minus 40 is negative 36. Negative 36 times negative 3 does equal positive 108. So again, we should be checking our answers to make sure that they work. And one more example that involves all the steps. So let's review distribute again, because we have parentheses, so we're going to distribute. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Use the sign in front of the term when you're multiplying. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6b. Now I'm distributing negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 7 is positive 56. Negative 8 times positive b is negative 8b. I should only have one sign in front of each term because I'm using the answer, the sign of my answer, to know whether or not to put a plus or minus. Now I can combine my like terms. My like terms are positive 6 and positive 56, which combine to give me 62. Positive 6b minus 8b combined to give me negative 2b. After you do step 1 and step 2, you should have a two-step equation where I cancel the constant. This is a positive 62, so I'm going to subtract 62 from both sides. Then I'm going to be left with negative 2b. So I need to divide by negative 2 on both sides, which leaves me with b equals negative 7. If I'm going to check my answer, I go back and I substitute in that very original equation, and I use order of operations. That's the only way to really check and make sure that you are getting the correct answer. So I've substituted. This requires me to do multiplication first. Negative 2 times negative 7 is positive 14. Positive 14 and negative 2 is positive 12. Positive 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. In this parentheses, I have negative 7 plus negative 7, which is negative 14. Negative 14 times negative 8, 80, 112 positive. And now I've got negative 36 plus 112. I know my answer is going to be positive because there are more positive than negative. 112 minus 36. Borrow, positive 76. Let's go back up in the equation. 76 equals 76. So I can be confident that my solution is correct because I checked my answer. Thank you and hope that helps. Have a good day.